A real trader spends 5 times more time in actually preparing themselves for the market and preparing their minds than they ever do hitting buttons.
Welcome to Traders Journey channel. It takes more than strategy to become a successful trader. On this channel, we share what the 1% of traders do daily that makes them stand out from the pack. You know the saying that the success is in the routine, and today we'll be checking on 5 daily routines that successful traders do regularly. If you're new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on awesome videos that we release weekly. Routine number 1, prepare your mind and your body for trading daily.
A real trader spends 5 times more time in actually preparing themselves for the market and preparing their minds than they ever do hitting buttons. I spend maybe 30, 40, 50 minutes trading a day when the market is hot, but I spend hours a day actually getting ready for the market.
Clear your mind, then open up your charts. That gives you like the freedom to at least look at the market from an objective point of view, as opposed to, being emotional or being low energy or high energy, and like you don't really make a correct judgment call on what's going on in the market. If you're going through a breakup, if somebody died in your family, do not open these charts, because you cannot make a good decision or judgment call on what these pairs are going to do if your mind is focused on everything else. You can see, a move going up a little bit, and then you forget that there's a trend line heading down, and you immediately buy when the original, trend is heading down. You don't pay attention to those little subtle moves because you're focused on other things. Make sure you clear your mind. Also, get in the zone. Like, if your mind is clear, get in the zone. Play some music, stay level-headed. Make sure like it's like a sport to me. Like I said, like before you play basketball, before you play any type of sport, you get yourself in the zone. Before you take a test for school, you mentally prepare yourself. So mentally prepare yourself for what you're about to engage in the market, because this is not some hobby where you can just open up and just freely do whatever you want. You have to treat this as a profession, like whether it's sports or being a doctor, anything. You have to get in the zone. When you're in the zone, then you open up your charts, see what presents itself, and I'll show you guys an example really quick. See what presents itself, and if there's a trade present, trade, like execute. Don't second guess, don't hesitate. Control your psychology to where your mindset is clear, and if you see all the confluences line up together, execute.
I've been meditating now for about, I want to say 3 or 4 years. I tried it a long time ago. I never stuck with it, which is a shame that I didn't stay with it longer when I was younger. But I found it again, 3 or 4 years ago, and I've been really very diligent about it since then. But meditation is not one of those things where you can measure the inputs and the outputs, right? There is no ROI for meditation, right? I can't say, all right, I invested 30 minutes of meditation time. Now I'm going to get back, $1,000 from the market. It doesn't work in that way. It's certainly not linear. But what it does do, I think, for traders, and what it does do for me, it creates this element of spaciousness, where I can create space during the day. It's easy to get caught up in your trades, to get caught up in that decision-making process. If you feel like you're rushed all the time, that, your life is just one thing after another, then, meditation can be very, very powerful for you.
15-minute morning meditation and 15-minute evening meditation. If you can do longer ones, perfect. For us, people on the fast floor, for all of my traders, we have subconscious performance tape, which is basically my perfect day of a trader through a course of 3 months, compressed into a tape that's been recorded by our subconscious performance coach, and it's like an affirmation guided meditation that's gonna keep you, and it's keeping all of my traders in the right state of mind, trusting themselves, believing in their ability, holding strict routine, being disciplined, everything we need for success. So let's get going.
I think physical condition is extremely important for day traders, for traders. You have to be in good physical condition. If I want to compare trading to other professions, I think the closest that I can think of is professional athletes, because your performance is measured daily. If you are, for example, an Olympic swimmer, no matter how good you are during the preparation and practice, you have to be perfect in the competition day. You have to be in the Olympic day. In that day, you have to perform well. Otherwise, nothing matters. No other profession is like that. If you're an engineer, if you don't feel good, you just don't go to work, but you still get paid, and your career won't get affected. And a lot of professions are like that. If you're a lawyer, if you don't feel for 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month, still is okay. But the day trader, doesn't matter how good you are, you have to be in excellent physical and emotional condition that same day.
And work out twice a day. So one needs to be outdoor, one can be indoor. And you know, walking is still for pussies. Look, why we do 2 workouts in a day? First of all, you want to be feeling like a champion all day long. When you wake up in the morning, you want to smash your first workout. That's usually what I do in my villa, or a lot of times just outside of my villa, running on the beach. And then the second workout is a proper workout in the gym, when I dedicate 45 minutes to 1 hour to just, you know, bodybuilding and weights, and that's just the high intensity shit. So 2 workouts, one need to be outdoor. You want to get your heart up, you want to feel like a champion, you want to conquer something. And if something is telling you that you would want to go a little bit easier, you know, just remember that if you think that you should be doing it easier, that's who you are. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to stay there. So if you want to go to the next level, you got to do things differently. Just flip it around and say, okay, I want to do it easier. Guess what? I need to do it harder.
Routine number 2, analyze the market and know your trade focus for the day.
I'm curious to know, what does a day in your life look like? Because obviously if you swing trade, you're not going to be trading all day. So what do you do exactly, like on a daily basis?
So in the morning, I just usually look at my charts, and then during the European and American session, I just look if I have any entry that I could go on based on my setup. If not, then I don't do pretty much nothing, you know, because I'm trying to make money in the Forex market. I'm not trying to make my broker rich. So if I don't see any setup, then I don't really do anything about it. So, but if I do have a setup, I usually enter it, and then after that, I just manage it carefully. So I move my stop loss and everything based on my setup. Pretty much I spend a lot of time with my family. So I usually sometimes drop off my kids at school. I'll pick them up. And then that's pretty much it in my life. Mostly people that I saw, like the new traders, they're so stressed out when, you know, when their accounts like they have a drawdowns and everything. So they're really stressful, and then they're trying to make like a revenge trade to make up all the money they lost. And then at the end, they lost more money than initially they have. I think the most important thing for traders is to fall in love with their charts. You know, you need to treat your charts like your relationship. I mean, trading is kind of like a relationship. I mean, when you fall in love with somebody, right? You give them your full trust and everything. It's the same thing as trading. I mean, you need to fall in love with charts. You just have to trust whatever the chart is telling you instead of listening to somebody else, or looking at like the so-called expert or the guru. Just look at your own charts and then look what it's telling you. I mean, everything is there. You just have to trust it. I mean, I love my family and all, but I like to be alone with my charts. I mean, I'm treating my charts as, you know, as I love my wife. So whatever the chart's telling me, that's what I take in the trades.
I really don't believe in times and sessions, believe it or not. Like, I do understand there's an Asian session, a New York session, a London session. But I've been trading for 5 years. For 3.5 to 4 years, I've been going on with, okay, I'm only trading New York session or just London. And I saw the biggest growth in my account and making the most amount of money that I've ever made when I didn't really focus on that. What I focused on was one particular pair, and I utilized the TradingView Pro's platform and set alerts to my phone. What I mean by that is, a lot of times I used to just focus on New York session, and then a lot of times my pair wouldn't move during New York. It'd move during Asian or London, and I'd be asleep, or I'd be playing basketball. I'd come back to my phone like, yo, why did this pair move? It usually doesn't move during Asian. Like, believe it or not, pairs can move whenever they want. Granted, they will move like during their session, like the United States will move, like, you know, mainly through New York session, but it doesn't have to. Like, it can move through Asian, it can move during London session, but it mostly will, you know, move during New York session. So for me, I try to keep my eyes open for all. So for example, I usually set alerts on my phone because like I'll analyze the charts, and when I see price getting to a key level or it's not there yet, all I would do is set an alert on my phone that says, hey, whenever it gets to this level, text my phone. And then whenever it texts my phone, it could be 4 p.m., it could be 4 a.m., it could be 8 a.m. The minute it texts my phone, I will open my charts and look at the market and then see if I can place a trade. Now, I don't recommend that for everybody because this is my job. I'm a professional day trader and I'm on TV. A lot of people work 9 to 5s. If you have a legitimate job and you're not a freelancer, you're not an influencer, I recommend you trade within the constraints you can. So for example, if you work a 9 to 5 job and then you come home, you talk to your family, if you're like, 20 to 25, or if you have a family, kiss the wife, kiss the husband, do what you got to do, boom. Then I only recommend trading Asian session or get up early in the morning and trade in London. If that's the case where you have a legit 9 to 5, try to stick to one session because you got too many things going on right now. I only recommend, alerts and trading freely and anytime, whenever, the alerts hit your phone, if you don't really work a job. If you have a set amount of hours, 9 to 5, try to trade within those constraints so you get to know the pair during that time. If the pair doesn't move during that time, oh well, try again the next day. So for that, my rules for that would be to analyze the pairs before you go to sleep. If you get up early in the morning, for London session or a little bit of New York before you go to work. Understand what pairs move during certain sessions. My favorite pair is gold. Gold moves whenever the hell it wants to, which is why I have that kind of a free spirit when it comes to the market where gold usually likes to move during Asian, but a lot of times it'll not move during Asian, it'll consolidate, then it'll move during London. And when I made that 7.2K 2-3 days ago, it didn't move during Asian or London. It consolidated the whole time. Then at 6 o'clock in the morning, I got an alert on my phone that says, gold just broke 1500. So I'm like, oh, let me open my chart. And then it got to 1515. I'm like, damn, I missed the whole move. Because it didn't move during Asian and London. If I didn't have that alert, I would have missed that entire move. I wouldn't have made 7K. So open my charts, looked at it, saw that it, retested, and then I got in. So like I said, when it comes to the market, if you have a 9 to 5, make sure you pick a certain time that you're trading and pick a pair that falls during that time so you're able to maximize profits, moves, you're not wasting your time. If you don't see a trade, don't force a trade. Do not force a trade. There's 5 days during the week where the market is open. There will be a day or two, most times 3 or 4, where you can find other trades.
Back home, just taking a shower and open up the chat room, run the scanner and see what's going on in the market, what stocks are gapping up or down. And I'm just finalizing my watch list, finding all of the levels, plan for the trading. I usually finish trading but in the first 1 hour, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half, but usually around 1 hour, I finish my trading.
I hope this helps you guys in terms of, like I said, understanding not to chase the market. When you chase the market, you will lose money. It's supposed to be, relaxed, calm, controlled, and then you're supposed to seamlessly, make your trade through it all, not forcing the market to come to you. Then you losing money, then you're wondering why you lost money because you're forcing it. The trade was not there.
Are you new to this channel? Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss our future videos that will help you on your way to becoming a successful trader. Routine number 3, journal your strategy, trades, and review what happens daily.
So the most important thing I do at night is journaling. I use TraderView and I upload all my trades every single night. I need to study what's working. What kind of patterns are working for me right now and which ones are actually causing me losses. For example, we trade ORB patterns. ORB is one of my favorite patterns, but in certain markets it doesn't really work as well. You need either earnings season or some type of breakout market for that pattern to work well. There are markets where pullback trading works just better than breakout trading. So you need to study your trades to figure out when that shifts. Your past trades will tell you when there's a shift in markets so that you can start to correlate which patterns you need to trade. In my boot camp, I teach 18 patterns. That's for a specific reason. Not every pattern works all the time. If you're just sitting there doing flag pattern, flag pattern, flag pattern, flag pattern, and you think it's gonna work 52 weeks of the year, you are in for a rude awakening. I used to be the same way. I loved flat top breakouts, and when I was a new trader, I crushed it trading this pattern for 6 months straight. All of a sudden, the market shifted, and for months, every time I saw the pattern, I would take it, and then I'd lose on it. At that time, I wasn't doing any journaling. If I had a proper journal, I would know after a few days, this type of pattern is something I just can't take anymore. So really focus in on your journal. You should spend more time journaling and studying your trades than you ever do clicking your buttons.
I always tell my students, whenever you do a trade, why do you buy? Why do you enter a position? You must always ask yourself, you don't buy for the sake of buying.
Yeah.
You want to buy because you know there's a chance to make money or profit.
Yeah.
Then you go in.
Yeah.
So I always encourage my student to screenshot this particular setup. Why did you go in? So that's why when I do the back testing, I'm very easy. I look back all my log, where did I went, I go and test. Oh, this is where I ran wrong. I like to see different time frame.
Okay.
When I too engrossed in time frame, I always go out and look at a bigger time frame. So I always do this. I look at bigger time frame. I will not be locked down on a small time frame. Then I can see a bigger picture. This is what I think is good habit. You need to do this. When you do on the shorter time frame, you so engrossed in it and you forgot actually what is the bigger picture. So this is a must for a trader.
At a very similar time, this is where I'll tend to check Notion. I have a winning trades document for both strategies, and this is where I'll tend to go over the winning trades because I'm a big believer in what you focus on, you attract more of. So by me focusing on winning trades a lot more, it's a very good practice, it's a very good process to get into, to get your mind ready for seeing winning trades. Give you just a quick run through. I'm not going to show everything with respect to the strategy, things like that, but I can give you a quick run through in terms of what's included within my plan personally. Because if you're going through your plan of developing yours, then hopefully this helps. So I have basically table of contents. My go-to setups are risk entries and then a couple of reduced risk entries as well. So put all your entries first, which is what I do personally. Then I have a section on management. So I have different management styles. I have 3 different management styles. Pair behavior. So each currency pair and each pair behaves slightly differently. So you find out that within backtesting, stuff like that. So for me personally on, say for example, Euro Pound, I don't take reduced risk entries, so I won't take type flags, things like that, just because of its typical corrective behavior. So understanding that through backtesting is super, super helpful. So I'll have that. My risk tolerance, so always 1% on just the one account, and then over the course of 2, I'll have the 2 trades if I'm taking a longer term trade. And then we have a checklist, so pre-trade checklist for questions. Then I'll have psychology of any quotes that are good to read through, and then obviously I'll sign that at the end as well. So yeah, overall pretty clean, pretty simple, and it's 20 pages long.
Keeping track of everything as you're doing it, keeping a journal, that's a very important part, it's a very important habit, and also I'll do screenshots. The other thing is doing that, keeping your journal and keeping your screenshots, a great habit for anyone to have. The good thing about that is you have a bad day, and you can just go back over it at the end of the day, and you can see that everything you did was exactly what you were meant to do. And it doesn't feel half as bad, even on a losing day, you know that you've done exactly what you were meant to do.
As a swing trader, your journaling is one of the most important things you can do. You need to study what's working for you, what's not working for you. But most importantly, it's going to tell you what's working in this market. As you probably noticed in the last, say, 3 to 6 months, breakout trades haven't been working as well. It's been mean reversion trades. Why? The market's been in a big, giant, fat range. So every time the market looks like it's going to break out, you're buying breakout stocks, and then what happens? You get hit with news, tariff stuff, all that kind of stuff happens. You get stopped out of all your breakout trades. Why is that? It's not really the news. It's the fact that the market's just been in a big range all year. So you need to figure out what kind of trades are working for you and which ones are causing you losses. That's going to keep you out of trouble.
Routine number 4, trade quality over quantity.
Done taking my trades and I've kind of set my positions. That's usually the extent to what I'll do for the New York session. That's usually only 30 minutes to an hour for me. It's not like this 8-hour a day scalping strategy. For me, that's never been actually effective. For me, it means more quality over quantity as a trader. For me, it's not about taking 100 trades a day. It's about taking selective trades that kind of fit my strategy, that I'm comfortable taking, and that I think have a better chance of making me money than losing money.
I believe you've been learning one or two things on your journey to becoming a more successful trader. If any of the points actually made a home run for you, please drop it in the comment below so that more people can learn from it. Routine number 5, educate and improve your mind more than you trade.
What are you doing for your continuing education? As traders, we need to spend more time learning and developing ourselves than we ever do hitting buttons. But sometimes when we're new, we get that backwards. We'll spend 8 hours in front of the computer, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and we'll spend like 2 minutes journaling or none, and a few minutes preparing for the day, but we spend 8 hours trading. We need to turn that ratio around. You need to spend hours preparing, learning, studying, and only minutes trading. So what are you doing for your continuing education? Are you taking classes? It doesn't have to be my boot camp, but you should learn from somebody. It could be just from watching free YouTube videos, reading books, talking to other traders. There are so many things you can do to learn trading and learn even past that. That's important. Right now, even for me, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I've got a group of traders that I talk to every single night. I give them a call, see what they're thinking, look at differing opinions. I try to learn stuff. I'm always watching YouTube videos and reading trading books, even to this day. I spend hours every day learning and developing myself, not just my trading. This is important. You need to really kind of work on your mind too. Read books about other stuff, right? It could be time management, it could be psychology, it could be mindset, but really get that good stuff in your brain. It's gonna make a long-term impact over the course of years. The less time you spend trading, the more time you spend learning, guys. It's going to flip your earnings in this business, especially if you want to survive.
Reading a book, reading 10 pages, yeah, I know it sounds funny, 10 pages, only 10 pages of a self-development book every day. But the catch is you're doing it every day. So this means that you're reading a book or two every month. So that puts you well ahead of everybody else, not to mention that an average CEO reads 50 books every year. If you're reading 2 books a month, you're way better than an average CEO. Now, all you need to do is stick to it day in, day out, be consistent in what you're doing, and you're gonna achieve the same success as the CEO or probably even better.
There's a lot of arrogance in the Forex industry, and I think people just also don't want to invest. So the whole point of Forex trading is about investing, and investing with the right knowledge. If you want to get the right training, you're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to invest in yourself in order to get those skills. And if you're not willing to invest in yourself to even understand how the market works, then you're not meant to be a trader. If you're not able to invest in yourself for your education, then you're not going to be able to invest in foreign exchange. And that is just it. That is the T right there. And you need to be able to trust yourself that you can commit to the investment that you've made rather than, investing in your education, then 2 months down the line, maybe you're not seeing the results that you want and then you just bottle it and pack it all in. Like, so many people do that, and it's just like, at the end of the day, winners win and quitters lose. That's it. Winners win and quitters lose.
Routine number 6, practice intermittent fasting and remain productive daily.
So I utilize something called intermittent fasting, and I do a 16-8 split. So basically that's a 16-hour window where I'm fasted, I don't eat anything throughout that period, and that's where I work out as well. And then I'll have an 8-hour window where that's where I eat food and make sure I get sufficient calories throughout the day as well. But overall, the reason I utilize intermittent fasting is from a productivity standpoint and also a health standpoint. So do your research. There's so many health benefits that actually come from intermittent fasting. So your cells start to rejuvenate after the 16-hour period. So if you can get to 16, 18 hours fasted, your cells start to replenish and rejuvenate, things like that. It's super beneficial for health, which is why I utilize it. However, also from a productivity standpoint as well, I find that I'm just so much more productive in the mornings now. I used to basically have breakfast and I'd eat something like oats and that'll be a huge carb spike, so I'd get an insulin spike initially, and then after like an hour or two I'd then end up crashing, and then I just wouldn't be as focused, I wouldn't be as productive throughout the day. So I find that utilizing intermittent fasting, obviously you have that first few weeks period where you're just super hungry, but once you get past that stage, your body then adapts.
Strict diet, and I'm not talking about diet as watching what you eat Of course, if you want to hold the diet, it's amazing. But what I'm talking about is intermittent fasting. 16 hours you don't eat, 8 hours you eat. And for me, my 8 hours of eating is from 4 p.m. onwards till the midnight. Of course, I would look that I eat more protein than carb because of the gym. But the point is, what I'm trying to do is in my productive time, from the morning till the evening, I'm trying to use my energy for my brain, not for my gut brain and my belly. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep all of my energy in my brain, not in my belly. Because when you eat, what happens when you eat? Do you get more energy or usually become sleepy and tired? Okay, so yeah, that's the paradox. We think that we're gonna get more energy, but it's not. We get more sleepy and more tired because now all the energy needs to go into your belly to process the food that you've been eating. So when you're not gonna be eating for longer periods of time, you're gonna feel more focused. Your mind is gonna be less foggy. You're gonna be more productive. You're gonna have better ideas. You're gonna have more confidence and more energy in general. And that's why intermittent fasting, and try to schedule it in the times of the day when you need, your brain and productiveness and energy the most.
If any of the routine resonates with you, kindly drop it in the comment box below so that people can learn from me. Thank you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Cheers.